What's up guys, it's Evan and welcome back to another Doki Doki Encore video. We are back once again for the second episode of the Encore mod, which is made by Ultra Star Wars Fan, and we played, this is the mod that like I hold a little bit closer, because the fact that I played the demo about a year ago. And, like, I've been waiting for so long for the full release, and here we are finally, you know, playing it, so, you know, it's that much better for me, because I've already played the demo a long time ago. I wake up startled, my heart pounding rapidly as my lungs struggle for air. Oh, that's right, last episode, we had a really messed up nightmare of some sort. I think where Monica kind of steps in and says, "Don't worry about Sayori, she's not worth your time. Stay with me instead, though, I'll give you all the life you need." I violently grasp as I quickly open my eyes to find the world around me in nothing but haze. I feel sweat running all over my body as if I'd just come out of a sauna. My room isn't even that warm. I let out a few coughs as I prop myself up to take a few deep breaths. I rub my eyes in an attempt to clear my vision. After a few blinks, I'm able to see normally again. What the hell was that? I wearily say to myself. I feel a sudden rush of pain hit my forehead as I attempt to recall the horrific sight I saw. Ugh. I quickly clutch my head in an effort to control the pain. Fortunately, after a few moments, the pain subsides to a bearable level. Wow, I can't read, I'm sorry. If I end up messing a lot of text and reading up and stuff in this episode, it's not that I just woke up or anything, but I'm still really, like, just out of it for some reason. Like, my coffee hasn't kicked in, and I'm still, like, half asleep, and I still get that morning groggy voice. So hopefully that doesn't interfere too much, but if I read, like, a freaking second grade level when I'm not a second grader, then, that's why. Well, this day's already off to a great start. I try to purge what I saw last night from my memory, but I still feel like I can see Sayori hanging. It's rather unsettling. I used to have nightmares when I was little, but I don't remember ever having this kind of reaction. Usually I just wake up crying and run over to my parents' room. Well, granted I can't do that so much now, considering they're away for the time being. Nor would they want a high schooler running over dramatically to their room. That'd be quite the sight for them to see. They probably would have thought they failed to raise me. I look over to my alarm clock. Well, I don't have to get up for a few more minutes, but after that experience, I might as well get up now. I slowly get out of bed to start my usual morning routine. After getting my stuff ready for school, I head downstairs to the kitchen to fix myself up a quick breakfast. After how I woke up, I think I'd rather go with something simple. I reach for the kitchen cabinet to grab my favorite brand of cereal and quickly grab some milk from the fridge. As I sit down, I try to wrap my head around my nightmare. Let her die. I scoff to myself. The hell is that supposed to mean? Who's her? Sayori? Why on earth would I do that? More importantly, why would I let anyone die? I honestly don't know what's worse, the voice or what I saw. Just thinking about the voice sends another cold chill running down my spine. It was distorted, I couldn't quite make out who was talking, though I could definitely tell it was that of a woman's voice that spoke to me. But, whoever was talking, it sounded like they were going insane. Maybe I'm the one going insane. Why am I sitting here trying to interpret this random dream? It's not like it'll happen again, right? I look at my watch. Oh shoot, I'm gonna be late. I quickly eat my breakfast and rush outside to meet Sayori. As soon as I step outside, I feel a cool, gentle breeze flow through my hair, as if the day were greeting me. My leg will not stop itching. Granted, everyone's had wind blown in their face before, but this time it feels welcoming. Heh. Well, that'd be the first time that Mother Nature's ever welcomed me. Though it's slightly cooler than yesterday because of the breeze, it's nothing I can't manage. I just hope that I can get my mind off the lingering effects of that dream as soon as possible. As if the world was listening to my prayers, out of the corner of my eye, I see Sayori coming towards me. Hey, Oh god, no! No! Don't... I swear to god! That's... I need a sip of water real quick. That was not okay. That was literally, like, oh my gosh. Is that just gonna be the entire day today? Is this gonna be me having flashbacks to the dream? Sayori suddenly pulls me into a tight embrace. I blink a few times to make sure what I just saw wasn't real. Ah, Sayori. Hug attack! Sayori squeezes me tightly. Under normal circumstances, I'd be groaning and telling Sayori to let go. Not because I don't like her hugs, but because she'd usually do it when I'm not in the mood, especially in the morning. But after what I experienced last night and just now, I do my best to brush it off and reciprocate with a hug of my own. Sayori quickly realizes my reciprocation. Devin, you're actually hugging me back? This early on a Tuesday? When I'm giving my world-famous hug attack? Well, I didn't know they were world-famous, but... Imposter! Sayori quickly breaks free of our embrace. Oh, come on, the one time I actually hug you back during one of your hug attacks and you think I'm a completely different person? Just gotta make sure you're still you, Devin. We're gonna play this game now, too? Yes? I let out a groan. Alright, what's the question? What's my favorite thing about the festival this year? The food. I answer jokingly. Meanie, you know the real answer. I let out a small chuckle, being able to spend it with me. Yup. So, what's my prize? Usually if I answer to one of Sayori's questions correctly, she'd give me a little prize. We've been doing the same game ever since elementary school. I thought it would have gotten old by now, but apparently not all of Sayori got past the 5th grade. Well what? Come on, you know the rules. I got it right, so you have to give me something. Now I sound like I'm the 5th grader. Thanks, Sayori. Sayori suddenly walks up to me. Close your eyes. Why? Pretty please? Alright, fine. I comply with Sayori's strange request. No peeking! Why would I... And that's the kiss. I remember that part. I remember that she just... It's all... Even if I didn't see it before, I knew what to expect, because you don't just walk up to somebody really close and say, close your eyes! What? Come on, Devin, we're gonna be late to school! Sayori starts skipping down the sidewalk as if nothing had happened. For a moment, I'm left starstruck and dazed. That was the first time a girl, other than my own mother, had kissed me on the cheek. Wait a minute. I come to the sudden realization that Sayori had set all of this up. Not bad, Sayori, but we both know who's really better. Hey, wait, Sayori, get back here! I start running after Sayori. Sayori seems to be blissfully unaware that I'm barreling down the sidewalk to catch up to her. Sayori! Sayori turns around to see me. I'm gonna get you back for that! You have to catch me first! You know that I usually do! You forgot who's the master at tag again, didn't you? Sayori's face just drastically changes. It's like, wait a minute, you're right! Wait! Eek! Devin's gonna get me! You don't say that down a public sidewalk. You're not supposed to, like, act like you're about to be murdered by somebody. You can't run! I call out playfully. That is not, like, if somebody, like, who didn't know them, like, saw that sight, like, literally everybody would, like, be calling the cops and stuff. It's like, he's chasing me! He's gonna get me! And then, like, then Devin says, you can't hide from me! Like, that's pretty messed up and could mean really drastic, you know, turn of events. I end up chasing Sayori the rest of the way to school as the rest of the neighborhood watched with a little mix of bewilderment and amusement on their faces. That would not happen in real life. No, I know it's, like, all part of, you know, like, just not, like, because I know that's not part of the story, it's not supposed to be, but, like, in real life, if that were to happen, you could bet your freaking ass that at least one person calls the cop saying, like, hey, there's something going on with this couple here. But I didn't care. I'm just glad that I'm still able to be like my younger self sometimes around Sayori. She never really fails to bring that side out of me when she wants to. Unsurprisingly, since we ran all the way to school, we ended up arriving at school relatively early. To help pass the time, Sayori and I walk up and down the fairly empty hallways, though it was just mostly us trying to recover from earlier. I'm still silently processing the fact that Sayori somehow managed to pull all this off. Sometimes I still forget that behind Sayori's sweet innocent act is someone who's truly capable of being sneaky and making it work when she wants to. It's good to see that part of her hasn't changed. I'll have to keep my eye on her. Not that I should have any problem doing that anyways. I have to admit, Devin, you're still the fastest guy I know. Aw, jeez. I'm nowhere as fast as I used to be. True, but still even now, you'd be great for the school's track team. I think being in one club's enough for now, Sayori. Not to mention, I was never really the sportsy type. But you'd be so good at it, though. Well, if I put down my controller and went outside more, then maybe. But going outside isn't on my schedule. For a while. Devin... Just before Sayori can finish her retort, we will hear the bell ring throughout the school, signifying the start of another school day. Well, I guess our discussion of my exercising routine will have to wait for later. Sayori let out a small giggle. Alright, Devin, I'll see you after your class. Can't wait. Sayori suddenly gets up close to me again, like how she did earlier. Does she want me to... Are we at that stage in our relationship? I feel my heart beating out of my chest as I lose any and all ability to coherently function. I close my eyes again. I lean into Sayori. Oh wow, are you guys a thing? Is this not... It's Natsuki, isn't it? This is easily Natsuki. I open my eyes. I see... Oh, it's a guy, never mind. I thought it was Natsuki. I see a guy walking past us down the hallway. Oh great. It's Keith. Oh, Keith. Wait, it's coming to me. Isn't Keith like the asshole? Sayori backs off and tries to act as if nothing was happening. Hey, screw off, Keith. Aren't you still trying to make that mixtape? The one with your crappy Nightcore remixes? I see the look on Keith's face completely drained. Come on, Devin, Nightcore is real music. It's literally just a pitch shift. What are you talking about? We both know that. If Nightcore's real music, then our generation is screwed. Keith gives me a bewildered look, but doesn't tease further, clearly trying to give us some space as he walks. Are we like, is me and Keith like friends or something, just like who joke around with each other? I thought he was an asshole. As he walks further down the hall and turns a corner. Ah, Keith. Interesting guy. I turn back to Sayori, who has a rather disappointed look on her face. I guess we do need to be a little bit more careful about where and when we do these things, huh? Come on, Devin. What? What do you have against Keith? Nothing. We just have different tastes in music is all. He handled the music at the festival last year when we were first years. His remixes were so bad I ended up going home early because I couldn't stand it. I would too, honestly. Aside from his quirks and occasional moments of cringe, he really isn't that bad of a guy. We just have that sort of relationship, Sayori. Kind of like how we have ours. I see. Well, I'll see you later, Devin. Laters. Sayori and I briefly embrace each other before scurrying off to our classes. As usual, my classes are unexciting and feel like they drag on forever. I'm fairly certain that most of the things that they're teaching us now are never going to be used in our day-to-day lives, post-high school and college. Not that I've really given much thought to my future anyways. With the sound of the final bell, everyone packs up their things and starts flooding out the door in a rush to get to their clubs or get back home. Fortunately, this time I'm one of the first few out. As I stand outside the classroom, seeing all the other students flooding through the hallway, I'm able to somehow hear Sayori call out to me. Devin! Devin! I turn to my right to see Sayori standing there, waving at me. Yep, that's definitely her. I walk over to join her. Hey, Sayori. Hey, Devin. You definitely seem to be in a good mood. That's because it's time for the literature club, silly. And because I can't wait to spend more time with you. I feel a smile form across my face. Well, let's go. Sayori happily nods as we begin our walk to the club room. We arrive at the club room with the usual scene greeting us. Yuri's in her usual spot, intently reading her book, while Natsuki is rummaging around the closet doing who knows what. I see Monica at the teacher's desk in front of the room, apparently working on something. She's probably just over there, like, typing out code and stuff, like delete her! However, Monica quickly notices us and flashes a smile. Hey, guys! Hey, Monica. You guys seem to be doing well today. So yeah, today's been great. That's good to hear, Sayori. How about you, Devin? Just dandy. How's your day been so far? The way Monica says her question sends a familiar chill down my spine. Kinda like the one I felt in my dream last night. I brushed the feeling off. That was the worst mistake ever. If you have that kind of chill, you're not supposed to brush it off. Oh, it's been alright, I guess. Well, with a little literature, I'm sure will make your day phenomenal, Devin. Isn't that right, Sayori? You know it. You guys go get settled. I need to work on something that I have something to share with everyone. That's awesome, Monica. I can't wait. We're going to be writing poems together or something, and you're not going to be with Sayori, Devin. See, I don't know. This tends to happen. Whenever she has something to tell us, it's usually something that's going to, like, try and drive, like, me and whoever I'm with apart. Like, that's always how it goes. Sayori happily walks to her usual spot and sets her things down. I'm a little intrigued at what Monica's announcement is, so I decide to indulge in my curiosity. I turn to Monica. So? What's the announcement? Excuse me. Oh, come on, Devin. It's a surprise. And I can't spoil... Oh, I just squeaked. And I can't spoil a surprise that's meant for everyone now, can I? Fair enough. So how are things with you and Sayori? My mind goes completely blank for a split second until I realize that Monica's the only one that knows that Sayori and I are a couple. Oh, well, things are going well, I guess. She can be a bit of a handful at times, you know? Monica let out a small laugh. Haha. Well, that's Sayori. But I'm glad to hear that things are going well between you guys. Thanks, Monica. Well, hey, if you need any advice, I'd be more than happy to help. I just love seeing the two of you be happy together. I'm surprised Monika's taking such a serious investment in my relationship with Sayori. I guess her and Sayori are bigger friends than I first realized. Well, it helps to have someone to turn to in case I need advice. I'll keep it in mind. Thanks, Monika. Well, I don't want to have to keep any longer from her than I should, so... No, you're fine, Monika. Thank you. No problem. If you want to talk more, I'll be here. I've actually been working on this poem since last night if you want to see how it turned out. I'll certainly keep that in mind, Monika. Monika smiles as she turns and heads back to the teacher's desk. I turn to face the rest of the room, with everyone doing their respective activities. Well, it makes no sense for me to stand out in the open like this. So who should I hang with? Gee, it's almost as if this entire route was planned out for me. I'm gonna go Sayori. I decided to see how Sayori was doing. Hey, Sayori. Oh, hi, Devin. Sayori smiles as I take a seat next to her. So what were you asking Monika about? Oh, I just wanted to see if I can get a little peek at what her announcement was going to be. Devin, she's going to tell all of us, you know. It's not nice to be nosy. I know. It's so like you, though. I let out a small chuckle. I guess some things never change, do they? Yeah, I guess not. Sayori looks off to the front of the room. So, how have things been with you today? I guess things have been alright, though I don't know if things have been really changed or not. Sayori's voice trails off. I just still feel the same. I gently take Sayori's hand. Sayori, look at me. Sayori looks at me as tears well within her eyes. What's wrong? I don't know, Devin. What do you mean? Sayori nervously swallows. I thought that I'd be so much happier now that we're together, and while seeing you and spending time helps drive the rain clouds away for a little while, they just come back sooner or later, Devin. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. Why does it keep happening, Devin? Without thinking, I take Sayori into my arms. Sayori, listen to me. I don't really know how to help you through this, but I'll be there for you every step of the way. That much I can promise. I know I can't wave away what you're feeling right now, but if being with you right now helps, then I hope I'm doing something right. I can feel Sayori tremble as she resists the urge to break down and sob. Just promise me that you'll always be there for me, Devin. I just need to hear that. I promise you, Sayori. I'd never go back on my word to you. You know that. You know that. Sayori slowly pulls away from me. I put my hand on her cheek. Hey, it's okay. You're incredibly strong for putting up with this. Don't give up. I see a mixture of emotions on Sayori's face as she's trying to fight back tears while trying not to blush like an idiot. But she's my idiot. She's my Sayori. And I love her. Sayori gently takes both of my hands and holds onto them firmly. Thank you, Devin. Anytime. Lately, my emotions have been all over the place. First, I felt like I was a burden to you and everyone I knew, and now... Her voice trails off. What is it, Sayori? Sayori takes a deep breath as she holds my hand tightly. Now, I feel like I really shouldn't be here. What do you mean? I don't know. Just the past few days, I've been feeling like that I just really shouldn't be here with you, that none of this should have happened. I feel my heart sink into my stomach. She doesn't mean... I'm not doubting our relationship or anything. It's just... I guess you could say that I feel out of place or something. Well, I'll say this, Sayori. I'm glad you're here with me. I wouldn't change any of this for the world. I'm glad that we found our feelings for each other. Sayori's grip on me tightens. Hey, Devin? Yes, Sayori? I'm gonna rest a bit if that's okay with you. Today's been draining. Alright, do you want me to leave, or... Without warning, Sayori plops her head onto my shoulder. That's hilarious. And she's out like a light. Rest easy, Sayori. I mutter softly. I can't help but notice how cute she looks sleeping on my shoulder. Well, I might as well take this opportunity to get some shut-eye myself. Never in a million years did I think I would have ended up with someone like Sayori. A guy like me and a girl like her. What are the odds? Speaking of finding, there's no way the others haven't noticed us. I quickly crack open my eyes. I look around the room. Yuri still seems to be into her book, and Monika seems to be typing on the teacher's computer, and Natsuki is in her usual spot under the windowsill reading her manga. There's no way that they haven't at least looked up once and saw us like this, or overheard what we were saying, since we weren't really being that quiet to begin with. Suddenly, Monika stands up and walks to the front of the room. Okay, everyone, gather around. I have an important announcement to make. Suddenly, Monika and Natsuki's eyes turn to meet me and Sayori. Yuri, confused as to what's going on, turns around, only to see what Monika and Natsuki are staring at. Thankfully, Sayori dozed off while we were like this, otherwise she's going to be incredibly embarrassed. All three girls are looking at us with a bit of an irritated, almost jealous expression on their face. Great. Well, it's up to me to attempt to salvage the situation. Hey, Sayori. I subtly nudge her. She raises her head to look at me. Wake up, dummy. 5 more minutes like this, please. Sayori puts her head back on my shoulder. I just can't win today. Monika, Natsuki, and Yuri all look off in different directions, trying to avoid making the situation even more awkward than it already is. Monika has an announcement to make. Come on, let's not make her wait. Okay. Sayori stands up and stretches. But she quickly sees the situation we're in. Immediately, Sayori's face matches her bow. Oh, Sayori, always putting us in these awkward situations. Oh, sorry guys, I was just... Monika shoots Sayori a warm smile. It's alright, Sayori, come on. She gestures for us to come toward the front of the room. While on my way to the front of the room, Natsuki gives me a friendly punch in the arm. Ow! Hey, what was that for? Nothing, dummy. She mutters that softly and avoids eye contact. She briskly walks past me. It's because we said we wanted to spend more time with her, huh? And then all of a sudden we're with Sayori and Natsuki's like, you made a promise! Well, that was random. I just hope she isn't jealous of me and Sayori getting so close like that. Hopefully then she won't put me in the hospital. Oh well. We all take our seats at the front of the room, with Monika standing right in front of us. Okay everyone, here's the news. Starting next week, the student newspaper and photography club are going to be around doing a profile on all the different clubs. It's part of their biannual Meet the Clubs price that they do every semester. As of now, they're scheduled to meet with us and do their piece next Monday, so I was hoping that we could think of something that'll really show off the club. Natsuki audibly groans. Is this gonna be like the festival again? Monika seems like a little taken aback by this, but she tries to shrug it off. No, not really. You won't have to be performing for anyone this time, and I certainly don't think we'll need to put in the same level of preparation for this compared to the festival. But I would appreciate it if we could at least come up with something nice that'll show off to the club. Everyone takes a moment to collect their thoughts. After a moment of silence, Yuri is the first to speak up. You know, I did happen to keep the welcome banner we made for the festival. I just need to find it. It's somewhere in my house. I wouldn't mind baking cupcakes again. Turns out Devin isn't that bad of a cook. She says that directly looking at me. Natsuki certainly isn't letting what just happened between me and Sayori let go. I try to move past the sudden awkwardness. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Natsuki looked at me with a puzzled look. Nat? Where did that come from? I don't know, I just thought it'd be cute if I gave you a little nickname. Normally, Natsuki would shoot me an irritated look before proclaiming to everyone that she isn't cute. But this time, it doesn't even look like she knows how to get properly mad at me. She tries to pout, but I can tell she's forcibly trying to hold back a grin. Are you implying that I'm cute? And if I was? Ugh! Natsuki suddenly looks off in another direction, only becoming more flustered. After about a moment, she turns back to face me, no longer able to contain her grin. I'll let that slide, just this once. Sayori once again shoots me the same quizzical glance that she gave me yesterday, when Natsuki brought up the time that we spent together last Sunday. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to resolve all this and tell Natsuki that I'm with Sayori, as well as tell Sayori everything that happened between me and Natsuki on Sunday. Hopefully that will put her mind to rest. Thankfully, Monika comes in to seemingly save the situation. I can type up a summary of what we do on a day-to-day basis and write some things down for what we can tell the newspaper. Oh, I cannot. I'm like running out of breath here. Ooh! I know what we can do. What I can do? Everyone turns to Sayori. I can go to the library and get some books for us to read. I think it'd look good for when they take pictures of us. Great call, Sayori. As for you, Devin, do you have any ideas? Let me put on my thinking cap, shall we? I take a few moments to think to myself. Suddenly, I get an idea. That's a first. Well, I can bring in some famous poems that we could also use for the photo ops. I think it'd be great to show that there's more to literature than just books. Heck, maybe we can even use some of our own poems as well. I can organize them together like Monika did, but I'll need everyone else's poems. Everyone pauses to reflect on what I just said. That's a good idea, Devin. I'll hand you all my stuff tomorrow if that's okay with you. That's perfectly fine. I have all my poems back at my place. I can give them to you later. Same here. I'll give you them at tomorrow's meeting, Devin. I think I have mine with me. Let me check. Natsuki searches through her bag and retrieves a small stack of papers. Here you go. That should be everything. Natsuki hands me her poems. What, has it got like a note in there saying, I'm going to put you in a hospital? Thanks, Natsuki. Okay, everyone, you all know what to do. That concludes today's meeting. Be sure to find your poems and give them to Devin. Devin, you really put yourself in a predicament. Now you have to do work, and work's not fun. Everyone begins packing their things, mostly talking about their levels of excitement for the upcoming event. Woo. As I think to myself, this would probably be the first time I've ever been interviewed by our school's newspaper for anything. I cannot speak, I'm sorry. I'm getting to that point where I've read for so long now, 27 minutes or whatever. I've been reading for a while. And now my voice is getting my voice is fine, but my mouth is getting dry, and I have to keep taking sips of water, and then I keep like stuttering my sentences now because I'm reading so fast. I know Monika's been interviewed before, and somehow Sayori's been interviewed before as well, but I guess for Natsuki and Yuri and I, this will be our first time. I feel my anxiety start to rise as I think about it. I remember my first interview, it was like for my local town channel or whatever on TV, and it was about my marching band that I was a part of in school, and the dude just walks up to me. It's like, hey, you're gonna do an interview with us. And I'm like, I mean, maybe not a good idea. The guy's like, nah, you'll be fine. And so I'm just standing there. I'm like, I don't know what to say anymore. So the interview went like complete ass. I was so not used to talking in front of a full-blown camera, because this was like just before I really got into like being on camera. Like, this is way before face cam and stuff, so I was never really the camera person, like especially publicly. My train of thought ends as I feel a tap on my shoulder. Ready to walk home, Devin? Yep, let's go. After I finish packing my things, Sayori and I wave goodbye to the others as we head out to start a little walk home. During the walk home, I feel Sayori gently take my hand. When I turned to her, she kept looking straight ahead, madly blushing. I smiled to myself as we keep walking. It seems that we've gotten more comfortable with showing off our affection for each other in public, even if it's something as simple as holding hands. Sayori seems to be in a really good mood today. Well, she did say me being around her helps her feel better. Granted, I have no problem spending my time around Sayori. What if this was a cure to her problems all along? It's not! Stop saying that! Just us spending time around each other. That was not... Romance isn't the answer! I mean, sure, it'll make you feel better, but it will not clear, like, your actual, like, mental issues and stuff. That is never the answer. You need professional help. And anybody who wants to challenge me on that, hit me up in the DMs. My Discord's in the link below, and if you want to fight me on that, I will be more than welcome to. At this rate, she should be rid of those rain clouds in no time. No! Not how that works. The thought of that keeps me smiling through the duration of our walk. I know it's just part of the mod, but like, in my personal experience, but like my personal like thoughts about on the topic is that like you don't, it doesn't just go away tomorrow because you have a boyfriend or / girlfriend or whatever. The thought of that keeps me, I think I already read that. Eventually we reach our houses. Hey, Devin? Yes, Sayori? I think I know where my poems are. I can stop by your house in a bit and drop them off if that's okay. Sayori's voice trails off. I see where she's going with this. Yeah, I'd love to have you over. See you in a bit, Sayori. Okay. Sayori and I briefly embrace each other as we head back to our respective houses. I hope she can stay a little bit longer this time. I drop my book bag in the middle of my room and change out of my uniform. I begin looking through the messy stack of papers on my desk in an attempt to find the poems I wrote. I just hope I didn't accidentally throw them away. Come on, they gotta be here somewhere. Ah, there they are. I pull my poems out of my stack and start organizing them a little. Reading through them, I see how far I've progressed as a writer. My more recent poems certainly seem more developed and structured compared to the first poem I wrote. I'm also reminded of the inspiration behind all these poems, my dear Sayori. Just thinking about her allowed me to power through this that's a big word, task. I guess I did end up writing it for her after all. I put down my poems and go to my bag to retrieve Natsuki's poems, which I put right next to mine. I noticed that in Natsuki's stack of poems there was a pink piece of paper. I called it! I knew there was going to be some sort of note. I don't remember Natsuki ever writing her poems down on pink paper. Maybe she accidentally gave me something. Before I can investigate further, I hear my doorbell ring. Wow, Sayori was a lot quicker than I thought she'd be. I go downstairs to let Sayori in. I'll never know what that paper said. I open the door to see Sayori standing outside with her poems. Hey, Devin, I found them. She proudly hands me them. That's awesome. Thank you, Sayori. You're the best. Sayori blushes at my compliment. So, want to come in? Yeah, I'd love to. Awesome. I let Sayori into my house. I put Sayori's poems on the dining room table and join her in the living room. So, what exactly do you want to do? I've definitely got more than a few ideas in mind. Oh, and what would they be? She looks at me quizzically, an obvious sense of intrigue in her eyes. Well, let me show you. We slowly shuffle closer to each other until we're close enough to feel each other's breath. Her breaths are shallow, her eyes are locked with mine. My vision feels hazy. Her eyes, have they always been like that beautiful blue color? That scent of cinnamon mixed with the feeling of her soft breaths grazing my neck. Suddenly I remember what I wanted to do. Remember when we had a big debate over who could get more gold trophies in Mario Kart when we were little? Sayori pauses to remember. Yeah, why? I think it's time to settle that debate again. Sayori giggles at my suggestion. Alright, Devin, I'll warn you though, I won't hold back. She manages to say that in both a playful and ominous tone. Growing up, Sayori and I had a bit of an annual competition to see who could get the most gold trophies in Mario Kart. Every so often, we would trade with the winning title, but I remember that I barely beat her out last time. We also had a tradition where the loser would have to pay for the winner's ice cream at Gamaya's? I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never heard of it either. Usually when Sayori would win, she'd get the most ridiculously expensive sundae, almost as a way to rub it in that she won. Usually I'd be humble and get something cheap. I power on my Wii and hand her one of the controllers. Seeing Mario Kart boot up on the screen again triggers a flood of memories from my childhood. It's been years since I've played this game, and even longer since Sayori and I had played it together. My skills are probably a little rusty, but I hope hers are as well. What map should we play first? Sayori shoots me a sly look. How about Rainbow Road? God, we're starting off with the hard ones? You really think we should start off on that map considering how long it's been? Only reason I remember it was because of how frustrating it was. It could still be fun, unless you're too chicken. Alright, you're on. As we sit there choosing our races, I decide to go with my old main, Luigi. As expected, Sayori chooses Daisy, her all-time favorite. Well, here we go. Good luck, Devin. The race is off. The first thing I do is fall right off the map with Sayori quickly following. Wow, you both suck. But now you see why I always hated this map. Yeah, but this is still pretty fun. A smile manages to form across my face. Sayori always been able to find the joy in almost anything. While early on, Sayori and I trade leads for first place, after a while, I'm able to stay in first fairly comfortably. Of course, that means I've been getting bombarded with red shells. Why do you have so many red shells? The farther you are from first place, the better items you get. Oh yeah. I need to play this more. Sayori lets out a giggle as she throws out another red shell that nearly hits me. Nice try. Bull crap! Because red shells are freaking heat-seeking, meaning you cannot avoid those unless you have an item behind you, or you're at a really amazing point in time where you turn just right where it completely just hits something else. However, as soon as I say that, Sayori is able to pass me. Thank you. Sayori and I continue to trade leads. I just became a huge nerd for a second there. Mario Kart Wii was my shit. You guys hopefully know that because I played Mario Kart Wii a while back on the channel. Sayori and I continue to trade leads for the most of the first 2 laps. Neither of us able to gain much distance on each other before the other takes the lead again. And finally, it comes down to the last stretch of the race. I'm barely in first. I can almost see the finish line. Seemingly out of nowhere, one of the NPC players starts to catch up to us. In the blink of an eye, the NPC passes Sayori and is right on my tail. I don't need 2 things to worry about. Well, time to use the shells that I've been saving for in the end. I start throwing out my shells randomly in an effort to get the NPC and Sayori off my tail. Bad idea. I think you should just always hold them as a shield, especially right toward the end, where you could easily be red shelled right at the flag. My first shell hits the NPC successfully. Its cart quickly spirals out of control before promptly falling off the map. However, Sayori was able to dodge the other shells that I threw. I looked to see that I still had one left. With the finish line only about 10 seconds away and Sayori and I neck and neck, it's now or never that I use my last shell. Take this! In desperation, I throw my last shell out randomly. However, I come to regret that decision rather quickly. Oh crap, no! I somehow ended up hitting myself with the shell I just threw. Before I know it, Sayori passes me and then wins the race. Yay, I won! I sit there obviously, absolutely stunned. I just cost myself the game. Looks like you'll have to buy me my favorite sundae again. Oh no, not if I have anything to say about it. That was the weirdest way I've read that sentence, I apologize. I playfully tackle her to the floor. She giggles and she tries to get up, but fortunately, I'm too strong for her. Hey, no fair, Meanie, you promised. Wait, perfect thumbnail. Let me turn my face cam off real quick and get a thumbnail for this. This is like the most perfect thumbnail picture ever. Okay, never mind. Apparently, I gotta turn my face cam off. Apparently, apparently, Doki Doki Literature Club doesn't get freaking printed out from just a a start print screen. Apparently, that's not the case. So, I had to actually turn my face cam off and then like do it and so that it's just blank in OBS, which is really annoying. I wish that wasn't that. I wish DDLC would actually be like would be, I don't know how you would even pronounce it or call it, but like I just wish that it would support Windows print screens. Hey, no fair, man, you promised. Sayori playfully pouts at me while giving me puppy eyes. Under most circumstances, they really wouldn't work on me, but for some reason today, they're super effective. I know. I'm gonna buy you whatever you want. I'm just messing with you, Sayori. Sayori shoots me a look of relief. So when do I get my ice cream? As soon as you can get up. Sayori manages to put on a good effort to get up, but again, I'm too strong for her. You haven't even changed a bit, have you, Sayori? Neither have you, Devin. What do you mean? You've always been that brash, funny guy next door who always has his head in the clouds. You've always been so kind to me, even when I don't think I deserve it. You've always looked out for me. I can hear Sayori's voice starting to break. You always help me when I'm feeling down, even if you don't realize that. Trying my best not to blush, eventually I break and crack a wide grin at her. You're the reason I can even get up out of bed in the morning, Devin. You're the reason I can feel happiness and joy in my life. You're the reason I'm even alive. Even when I'm at my lowest point, when my rain clouds just pour on me, you're the sunshine that I need to break them away. I see now that I'm the luckiest girl in the world to have you as my boyfriend. I see tears start to swell up in Sayori's eyes. Listening to Sayori say that really hits me hard inside. I'm the reason she's alive? There's no way that she would, she would never. Before I could finish my train of thought, Sayori inches her face closer to mine. Devin, Sayori's lips suddenly meet mine. Despite that, the sudden shock, I managed to return her kiss, our lips interlocking. The taste of peach fills my mouth as our lips push back against each other. The smell of cinnamon radiating from my hair seems to put me into trance. I pull back and lock eyes with Sayori. I just spit everywhere, I'm sorry. As she lays there with bated breath. There's a minute of silence between us as we get lost in each other's eyes. Finally, I decide to break the silence. So, I guess you won. Yeah, I won fair and square. I got us to Sayori and help her up. Well, I think that's enough video games for one day. Want to see what's on TV? Yeah, sure. We spend the next few hours watching some old movies and cuddling. Eventually, the sun sets and it starts to get dark out. Well, I better head back. And start getting ready for tomorrow. Yeah, bummer that the day went by so fast. Yeah, but I'll see you tomorrow, Devin. I had so much fun with you today. I did too, Sayori. I'll see you tomorrow. Sayori gives me one more hug before leaving to go back to her house. As she shuts the door, I collapse back on my couch, exhausted by today's events. We finally kissed. I still can't believe it. I should have seen it coming, but I'm surprised with just how well my relationship with Sayori is coming along. My nose is really stuffy all of a sudden. I apologize if you hear like nasally, my nasally voice is not fun. Even if I have no idea what I'm doing, or maybe this was what Sayori needed. Maybe this was Sayori needed. I'm assuming that's supposed to say what in the middle. Sayori needed all along. She just wanted to be around me again? Am I really the answer to all her problems? Then again, I don't really know how deep her problems run. And if she's always having rain clouds when I'm not around her, well, she should be able to talk about her problems with someone else, not just me. I'm not even entirely sure if I'm the only one who knows about her problems as well. Her parents know about this, right? Then again, Sayori's dad really isn't around too much because of his work. And her mom moved back to the countryside following that divorce. Unless Monica knows, I might be the only one she's ever told. I can try being around her as much as I can, but I can't be there for her 24/7. Especially if my plans for the summer still end up happening. I guess I'll have to figure something out then. Still, it was nice to spend more time around her today. Hopefully she'll be fine for the rest of the night. I flip back on the TV and watch a few more shows before grabbing Sayori's poems off the dining room table and heading up to my room. This is the part where I read the note now, huh? After grabbing Sayori's poems from the dinner table, I put her stack right next to mine and Natsuki's. I remember that there was something in Natsuki's stack that stood out to me. After comparing all three stacks, I see Sayori's stack is completely identical to mine. Natsuki's stack is the only one that has a pink piece of paper. I begin to look through Natsuki's stack. As I look through her poems, I can't help but be reminded of the first time we shared. I always found joy in reading her poems. They're so simple, yet they're just as hard-hitting as Monica's, Sayori's, and Yuri's. Not to mention, I always found her word choice to be cute and adorable. It really does suit her, even if she won't admit it. Through my train of thought, one of the pieces of paper escapes my grip. I put the poems on my desk and bend down to grab the stray paper. I look at the title. I don't remember reading this one. My Day With You. My day with you was perfect. It's true. You and I, preparing sweets. Who could have known? I'd be swept off my feet. Baking with you broke down my walls. I just hope I wasn't the only one to fall. Ever since that day, I felt a connection. I can't hide anymore. This is my confession. I love you. More than words can say, all thanks to our special day. Love, Natsuki. I'd be stunned too. Oh shit. She likes me? I'm assaulted with a barrage of emotions as I try to come to terms with the situation I've just found myself in. I have no idea how I should handle this. Not to mention, Natsuki probably knows I've read it by this point. Did she give this to me on purpose? There's no way she would have accidentally given this to me. What do I do? I put the poem back in the stack, put on my pajamas, and lay on my bed. Do I tell Sayori? How will she feel about this? What am I going to do? Do I talk to Natsuki about this tomorrow? Or do I let her come to me? Through the millions of scenarios that play out in my head, my mind eventually wears me down and I drift into an uneasy sleep. Give me another nightmare, huh? Yup, called it! I open my eyes to find myself in a dark, empty clearing. What? As I look around the clearing, I see the world around me engulfed in fog and haze. I can barely see 2 feet in front of me. You wouldn't have been in this situation if you had just listened to me. That's the same voice I heard last night. Oh great, this again. Did you completely forget what I told you last night? You're supposed to stay away from Sayori, not get closer to her. I didn't want to have to keep this up. I don't take enjoyment in your suffering. But you're leaving me no choice. No choice. Chores? Suddenly I see a silhouette approach me. Sayori? Is that you? Sayori comes into my view. Sayori can never love you back in the same way you do. You both know that. Why waste every day building her up when she'll just tear herself down again? The next thing I know, a noose appears right around Sayori's neck. I see another silhouetted figure emerge from the fog right next to Sayori. Let's make this quick. The next thing I know, the noose tightens around Sayori's neck as she's suddenly hoisted into the air. As Sayori begins crying out for help and trying to free herself, the figure takes a step closer to me. Now, listen carefully this time, Devon. Sayori is going to die. Don't feel bad. She was already meant to anyways. The more time you spend around her, the harder it'll be on everyone later. Keeping her alive is only prolonging her suffering. She is not meant for this world. Her precious mind is filled with nothing but second-guessing and self-deprecation. She knows she's worthless to you, Devon. In the end, she'll provide you with nothing. It's time for you to see that. My eyes glance over to Sayori, continuing to struggle. Tears are streaking down her face. She tries desperately to free herself. She keeps grasping for air. She sobs as her sobs become little more than cries for help. I try to call to Sayori, but nothing comes out of me. I try to run to help her, but I can't move my legs. I try to turn away to avoid looking at Sayori's suffering, but my eyes refuse to close and my neck refuses to turn. She's not worth saving, Devon. She is nothing. She is truly useless, and useless things need to be cast aside. The figure takes a few steps back, raising its hand and snapping its fingers. I hear a painful crack as Sayori's body slowly goes limp. The color suddenly drains from her face, making her skin a ghostly pale. Even her uniform is drained of its bright colors. Sayori's grazeless eyes look upon me as a final tear runs down her face. You can't stop this from happening, Devon. You need to let her go. Leave her behind. Forget about her. Worry about us. There is only us. Just us. And that's where we're saving it. Alright, so, my god, it's actually been a good chunk of time since I've played this mod, huh? Because the last time I saved this was July 7th, and now it's August 4th. Almost a month ago, was the last time I played this mod. But I'm enjoying it. This is very, very fun, and I can't wait to get to the new stuff past the demo, because that's going to be like where everything is new and where I don't know what's happening and stuff. And I can't wait to see how the whole, all the nightmares and what's gonna actually happen in the end. So that's going to be fun to look forward to. But for now, I am going to leave it here. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love an addition to the channel. I guys got a Discord. Come check me out outside of YouTube. It's going to be a fun time for all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Hope you guys in my next one. Goodbye.